Hey, we're back with Mob Psycho 100, and it's another double arc. Don't worry, next time will not be another 2 arcs in one video for the last time. Yeah, look, every Mob Psycho from now on, aside from, next time, will be a double arc. Don't blame me, every arc after this is so goddamn short. Anyways, we will be covering the Keiji Mogami arc, and then cover the Separate Ways arc. Will this be any good? Let us find out. So without any more hesitation, let us begin. We start the arc off with Mob being tired, thinking about last arc's events to the point he falls asleep in class, and he isn't just himself. Later on, 2 high schoolers confront Mob, but Dimple, Ritsu, and the Gigachads of the Body Improvement Club kick those high schoolers' asses. But Mob stops them, saying he's fine. Later, Reagan tells Mob that they were invited to this rich guy's place, and when they arrive, they realize the rich guy invited a bunch of exorcists, including Shinra and the group Shinra is a part of, the Sun Psychic Union. Even Matsuo from Scar is there. They're all eventually brought into a room where they find a girl who is the owner's daughter. We see her sending one of the scientists to the sky, and they decide to send in Reagan. He talks to her for a while, and he comes out and suggests taking off the ropes. They argue for a while before the glasses break behind them, shattering, and the spirit reveals itself, possessing her. Dimple realizes who it is, and he says he's out of Mob's league, and suggests that they should run. Turns out, it's the spirit of Keiji Mogami, a former psychic who is the real deal according to Dimple. Dimple mentioned that he has fought him before, and lost to the point he almost died. Everyone tries to fight Keiji's spirit, but everyone gets their asses kicked. The rich guy, who is the father of the girl, tries to get her to come out, but this ends with Keiji, in her body, murdering the man by making him into an Ace Rengoku donut. This gets everyone to try and attack her, but this doesn't work. Then we see Mob trying to fight her, but he makes it worse since the spirit makes her look like a skeleton. Reagan suggests that Dimple should fight him, but he easily got washed. They think of entering the astral projection to enter the daughter's body, pause, and fight Keiji inside. Mob offers to do so, and he leaves his body, which makes Keiji think he has a chance of taking over Mob's body, but Dimple already did, and starts fighting Keiji. Mob enters the body and meets Keiji's spirit. Mob asks him to leave the body, but he tells him he won't, so they start fighting. Mob seemingly dominates at first, but then Keiji starts beating up Mob and reveals that he controls the space that they're fighting in. We then see Mob in a different place, where he lives a normal life without psychic powers, and he gets bullied all the time. Even Misato bullies him in this place. I just want to correct myself, when I wrote that, I thought it was Misato, but apparently it's the daughter. Yeah, they look really similar in the manga. I'm sorry. Meanwhile, in the real world, Dimple blows up an opening and everyone escapes, except Reagan, which gets Dimple to question why he's staying, and he replies with Mob, and that Mob is naive enough to trust the two. Reagan is able to make Dimple go and check on Mob. In the astral projection world, everything has gotten worse. Mob is still being bullied and beaten up, and we see Keiji's past and why he does this to Mob. Mob starts using his powers, quote unquote, in this world, but before he can hurt anyone there, Dimple arrives and gets Mob to remember who he is. Mob learns that all his classmates in this world are just vengeful spirits, and Mob tries to defend himself, but it gets to the point that he goes 100% and actually defeats Keiji. However, the vengeful spirits are still there, and to save the girl, he decides to exorcise all the spirits, and Dimple leaves. He struggles for a while, and seemingly dies, but gets back up and goes %, and are able to destroy the spirit world, and wakes up in his body. The daughter, real name Minori, thanks Mob, but also apologizes to him. This makes him say it's fine, and that people change. Also, Matsuo takes Keiji's spirit as a pet. After that, we see Minori and her father. Yes, he survived somehow. Talk about Mob's help, and they donate a ton of money to the psychohelmetism cult. And we see Mob and Reagan talk about the event, and we end the arc with the people behind the psychohelmetism reacting to the donation. Overall, pretty good arc. We saw a sad reality of how Mob could have been treated, and I am glad we live in a reality where Mob isn't bullied like that. Anyways, onto the Separate Ways arc. We start the arc with Mob training with the Body Improvement Club and managing to hit a new record with push-ups at 35. Good job, Mob. And they decide to celebrate that, and Haruto's Psycho's birthday, they go to a place and celebrate. But this is cut short due to Mob being called into work. Everyone understands, but this leaves a sour taste in Mob's mouth. Mob gets to the job, but it ends with Mob and Reagan in an argument. And after Reagan accidentally disses his friends, Mob decides not to go to work for a while, which ruins Reagan's business, but also his mental health. His mental health gets worse when he sees Mob with his friends. Reagan gets depressed and he starts playing online MMOs instead of working. Reagan also celebrates his birthday alone, aside from getting a message from his mom and visiting an old bar he used to go to. Reagan goes so low that he goes on a show where Reagan, along with the leader of the Sun Psychic Union, is shown someone who's quote-unquote possessed, but this was a ploy to expose Reagan as a fraud to the world, and that the guy wasn't possessed. This destroys Reagan's mental health even more, and makes him a laughingstock of the town. Mob even learns of it and has to somewhat hide his connection to Reagan. It gets worse and worse to the point where he actually decides to respond. During his response, we see a flashback of how Mob started to work for him, and it's the sweetest thing yet. But it gets even more wholesome when Reagan thinks about how they met, and his first words of his response is, "You really matured, haven't you?" Which gets everyone in the room trying to get Reagan to reply who he's talking to. But before he can give a full answer, the set starts shaking and the microphone starts to float before the TV cuts off. Afterwards, Reagan finds out it was Mob's doing, and he tries to tell him the truth. But Mob replies that he knows the truth, that Reagan is a good guy. They decide to get some ramen afterwards. We end the arc with the Psycho Helmetism analyzing the TV program and spotting Mob in the footage. Overall, such a sad arc, but yet such a bittersweet ending. Reagan and Mob's relationship being developed was also great to see, and felt so earned after all that happened. Next time, I will tackle the World Domination arc. But until then, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys, well, next time. Bye-bye.